Good evening, guys. I hope this finds you well. So, I had 3 questions that I wanted to answer in today's live coaching. The first one was from Emma. Second one was from John. And Paul. I also wanted to answer Paul's question. So I'll start with Paul. Hey John, how you doing? Nice to see you. So Paul's question was, what's my favourite breathing exercise? Well, actually I've got 2 that I think are really good. The first one is a breathing exercise. It's actually a yoga breathing exercise, which is really, really good for just developing, control of your breathing in general. It's really simple, really easy. All you have to do is breathe in for a count, hold for the same count, breathe out for the same count, hold for the same count. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to breathe in, hold, and then out for 4, hold. Then you do the whole thing again, breathing in, hold, breathing out, then hold, and then you can try it 8, breathing in, hold, and then out for 8. Then hold for 8. You get the idea. So with that one, the key is to make sure that you don't, when you're breathing in, that you don't just go and then you've got another 8 counts or something. You want to make your in-breath last for the whole count and your out-breath last for the whole count. And that's a good one. You can kind of go as crazy with that one as you want. So, and it's quite fun to challenge yourself. So can you get to 10? Can you get to 12? Can you get to 16? And that's just a really good breathing exercise for just developing control. But my favourite exercise for singers, which is more realistic to singing, is where you're allowing a much shorter breath, like you would take, a breath on a rest, and then you're going to breathe out. Again, could be for 4, could be for 8, could be for 12, could be for 16. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to breathe in on beat 4. So 1, 2, breathe in now, and out. And then in, out. In on 1 count, out. And you can change that one up as well. So you can do the out breaths, you can make them staccato, so breathing in and then out. And the same thing, you can try breathing out for 8, for 12, for 14, for 16. Have fun with it, that's cool, that's fine. And then you can add in a hum to that or a long held note. And that's actually a really nice way of warming up. Nice long held notes, it's a really good warm up. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Paul. Moving on, oh hi John, what are you saying? Adding on to the breathing, could you do it with notes to help? Yeah, absolutely, yeah, that's kind of a continuation. So as I said, a hum or just a long held note could be a ha, a he, a ma, a me, mo, moo. You can work through the vowels, that's absolutely fine. And you can also do it at different pitches. So if it's the first thing you're doing as part of your warm-up, you kind of want to pick like a comfortable mid to low note in your range. But then, as you work your way through, you can do lower notes, you can do higher notes. Absolutely fine, all good, part of a warm-up. Okay, so this brings me on to, so let's go to Emma now actually. So Emma, you were talking to me about basically stage fright and managing that for gigs. So what I'm going to say to you there is no quick answer for that. But I will say this to you, do not despair, because it is absolutely, I promise you, it is possible to go beyond really bad anxiety, really bad stage fright, really bad insecurities. It absolutely is. I'm actually giving away right now a copy. I wrote an ebook exactly on this whole topic, and I'm giving it away now for free. So I'm going to put the link to where you can get it for free in this live thing. When we finished, I'll post the link, and you can go there and get the ebook. But what I will say is, like anything with singing, you know, it's the same as anything physical. I say it all the time. If you want to see results, you absolutely need a plan. And then you need to work on that plan, okay? It's no good sort of showing up once every other week, you know, practicing once every other week, or doing a gig every 6 months and wondering why you get nervous. Of course you get nervous. What you need is a plan in place, and you need to execute that plan to work on your stage fright. As I say, grab the ebook. There's loads in there to help you, and that will give you that systematic plan. So grab it. Right, so John, back to your other question that you asked. You asked, how do you sing musical theatre with tracks without going nuts, blowing out your voice, getting too into it, getting too emotional? Now, this isn't a simple topic, because there's a few things going on here. Number one, and I've spoken to you about this before, John, when you listen to singers on a recording, what you're listening to is a world that is just unobtainable for yourself when you're singing in your lounge. You're listening to a vocal that has been compressed, that has got reverb on it, that's got delay on it, that sounds really, really beautiful. Someone is there turning it up, turning it down, making sure that it sits perfectly in the mix with everything else that's going on. So the other thing that you're listening to, especially with musical theatre, is the drama of the music. So, you know, we get to certain points in the song, oh my gosh, the drums build, the strings go nuts, and everything feels like it takes off. And that's great if that has an emotional effect on you. That's the point. That's why they've done it. They want the listener to be like, oh, you know, get that wow moment. So how do you contain that as a singer when you want to go with the music and lift the emotional intensity? I think that's your question. Well, what I would say to you is, number one, really recognise, really own that your voice is an acoustic instrument. Now, what that means is you don't need anything else to be able to sing. You should be able to just sit here in the living room, or, you know, in the car or whatever, and just independently sing. You do not need a backing track. Now, it's really that's really important to get that, and that's why I'm saying it again, because what happens when we sing along with people, or we practice those with backing tracks, we kind of get lost in the music sometimes, and we sort of forget our own voice because we're too busy listening to this or listening to that or focusing in on that. So what I would say to you is, go back to basics. Literally go back to basics. A cappella. Absolutely a cappella. Now, you don't have to sing the whole song a cappella, you know. You can do it in sections. You could literally start with the verse, or start with the verses. Sing it a cappella. Record it. Listen to it back. Is it sounding good? Then you can make, you know, when you're then happy with it, then you can add in the backing track. Same thing. Have the backing track low. Do not be like having the backing track screaming in the background. Have it nice and low. Record yourself, listen back. How does it sound? Are you happy with it? Then move on. Next section, chorus 1. Now, what you want to do with the choruses, because that tends to be where the intensity lifts, before you want to start with complete ease. So that means working out what the pitch is. Now, I would do this without even bringing the words into play. Literally working through the melody. And what you're going to do with that is, are you singing it in tune? Is the pitching great? Allow it to go in your range where it wants to be. So if it's a higher part of your voice and you're singing light and head voice wants to come in, let it happen. Absolutely let it happen. So what you're doing is you're embedding just the pitch to begin with, just in your body, so that your voice knows where it should sit. Then you can add in the words. So again, keep it easy. Easy. Do not be like hitting this at 100 miles an hour. Find that ease with the words now. So go through the chorus, make sure, you know, listen, record it, listen back. Does it sound good at that level, at that ease level? Is it okay? Add in the backing track. Is it still sounding okay? Or do you change when you start singing along to the music? Now, this is a real methodical approach, but this will get you results, because what happens with singers is we build up habits. We go about our merry way and we've got all these habits in place. Now that's great, unless those habits are not good. And if you've got a habit of, when the big moment comes in the song, that you want to get that emotional intensity, so you force your voice and you over push, you're going to have to work hard to break that habit. So we've got chorus 1 down, we've got it ease, we've recorded it, it's sounding good. Okay, right, now move on. So if the rest of the song is like more verses, more choruses, but with different intensities, focus back in on the chorus if you like, or a different section of the song. Same thing, find the ease, but if you're looking for that moment where it takes off a little bit more, start playing with it. You can add in a little bit more volume, but do it gradually. That doesn't mean go from 1st gear to 5th. What you're looking for is to maintain this open, relaxed throat, because what happens when we get excited and we want a lot of drama and we push, we over pressurize our vocal folds. Now what happens when you over pressurize with too much air pressure? The muscles around your larynx just squeeze. They squeeze shut because they're trying to protect your voice, and that's when you end up not being able to speak, because too much pressure creates heat, friction, blown out voice. Not great. The other thing that happens when you tense up is the muscles in your throat are going to tense. Now what happens is they then absorb the sound, so you end up being smaller. You don't end up with a bigger sounding voice. You actually end up with your voice sounding exactly how you don't want it to sound, because it ends up sounding squeezed and squashed. So the key is to always be working from this place of ease and an open, relaxed throat. Always keeping an eye as well, what's happening with your shoulders, because remember, if we get dramatic and we get emotional, that's when we tend to start lifting the shoulders and everything starts to lift in our breathing, which we don't want. So you have to work from that place of relaxation, and you've got to be incredibly dedicated with yourself from that. And I mean not allowing, yourself, because we want to just sing, because singing is fun. But singing is only fun when you can do it well. And it's exactly like, I know you'll get this, John, because you're a sportsman. It's exactly why whenever you hear people talk about boxers or sprinters, they talk about, are they relaxed or are they tense? Because it is impossible to run as fast as you possibly can when you've got tension, because you're just working against the muscles. It's impossible to punch fast if I'm actually tense, to be fast, I've got to actually have loose, relaxed muscles. The key is, yes, there is some muscle tension, but it's at the right time and in the right way. So with my punch, I will tense at the end of the punch, but the rest of it's really loose and relaxed. That's how you get fast punching. It's the same with your voice. Where we want the work to occur is in our larynx, the muscles in our larynx, okay? And the rest of it is supporting that. So, oh, hi Emma. I was just saying earlier on, I've got an ebook specifically for stage fright and all of that stuff. I'm gonna add the link to this post when this is over, but that should really help. I hope that's helped, John. I hope that's made sense. If it hasn't, chuck me, for a bit more clarification in the comment or whatever. So guys, remember that this live coaching is for you, and I'm going to be doing it in this group for free every 2 weeks. So, post your questions, post your challenges, and yeah, let's keep rocking and rolling. Take care, guys.